name is Logic. Got a new video for you today. Got a boxing update recap of today's Showtime boxing match between Kell Brook versus Errol Spence Jr. for the 147-pound Welterweight IBF title. Great fight. Absolutely great fight. This is what happens when two elite 147 pounds or boxers, period, fight. This is the definition. This fight was the definition of sweet science, where you saw two very technically sound boxers. They can do it all. They could fight from distance, have jab, can fight in the clinch. This is, if you're new to boxing, you want to see what it's really about, this is a fight that you should check out. Before I even go into the recap, this is something that you should watch. This is a great exhibition of professional boxing. Now let's get into it. So this is a nip and tuck fight. Most of the fight, I feel like early on that Kell Brook was able to kind of control Errol Spence Jr. with his jab. He was like timing. Errol Spence Jr. has a good jab as well, but he was like timing his jab. He was timing Spence's jab and coming over the top and catching him with combinations. But Errol Spence was still doing work in between. He was catching him occasionally with his jab, couple body shots. It was like I said, a nip and tuck fight. It wasn't like anybody was just getting washed every round. It was just this round landed the cleaner punches. That was it. Errol Spence was trying to be a little bit more physical with Kell Brook, trying to push him, walk him down a little bit more. He was trying different things to try to figure out what would work. They were both, you can tell they both have high boxing acumen in there, as you can tell of the adjustments that they were making. One person would be on their back, but the other person cut off the ring, walk them down, and start throwing combinations, and vice versa. It was very nip and tuck those first 6 rounds, but I did give out of the first 6 rounds, I gave Errol Spence 2 rounds, and I gave Kell Brook 4 rounds. I just felt through the first half of the fight, Kell Brook was controlling the fight. He landed most of the cleaner punches, and he looked like he was controlling the fight. And then all of a sudden, like the 7th round was probably, at that point of fight, Errol Spence's best round, where he was landing combinations, doing good body work, and he started imposing his will on Kell Brook. He started walking him down a little bit, and he was catching some shots in between there. Like, Kell Brook is a great fighter, so let me not diminish what he was doing in the ring. Like, he was landing some shots, but it was just like, after that round 7 and thereafter, it was just like Spence knew he was losing. He had to know, because he stepped it up. That round 7 and the rest of the fight, he just stepped up his energy. He started walking down Kell Brook a lot more, being a lot more aggressive, throwing a lot of nasty body shots. Also overhand lead rights. Also, he started really connecting with that jab. He started really working that jab. I believe that 8th round is where he really started opening up on Kell Brook quite a bit, and you can see his confidence start to like really blossom at that point, where he started believing. He started stepping it up. He was becoming a lot more aggressive, and Kell Brook had his moments. He had spots in the fight, but I'm gonna tell you right now, about round 9 is where you could really see that Errol Spence was back in his zone. You could see him, he was in the zone. He started landing combinations, body shot. He was going upstairs, downstairs, to the point where Kell Brook, I mean, the crowd had to get behind Kell Brook just to will him through round 9, because he was getting caught. And he ended up showing true, let me just use Errol Spence's junior word, he's showing true grit. Kell Brook was showing true grit, taking those shots and still on his feet. I mean, it was amazing. He took some really big bombs from Errol Spence and was on his feet. Kell Brook has a lot of heart. I'm gonna tell you that right now. Regardless of how you guys feel about some of the stuff that Kell Brook does, Kell Brook has a lot of heart in there. And he raised his fist after that 9th round, like, I'm not done yet, I'm still here. And the crowd started getting behind him. And then in that 10th round, Errol Spence started giving him smoke in that 10th round. So he started landing body shot. Then he started focusing on that eye, and just boom, boom, multiple right hands to the eye. Kell Brook has to take a knee. Not that he was like hurt, but it was just accumulation of punishment in that eye. He got back up and had a decent round, but you could tell even by that eye and his demeanor in the ring, it was the beginning of the end. Not that he didn't have heart and he was quitting, that he just didn't have enough. You could just start, you really could see it in that round 10. And then in round 11, Spence Jr. got him out of here. Not by accumulation of punches. The eye was just too damaged. And this wasn't the Gennady Golovkin eye, which was the left eye, I believe. I think it was the left eye. This was the opposite eye of the one Gennady Golovkin injured. And it's the same type of injury. It looked like the eye was kind of pushed in. So it was like, damn, you got two of these joints? He might go out like Margarito, where he just he can't take the punishment to the face anymore. You have two of those. I don't know if he'll be the same fighter again. He was saying they were saying he had trouble at 147. He might want to move up to 154. I'm saying he might just need to go back home and chill out, because if your eye, you can't take any more punches like that. No matter how skilled you are, it's not worth losing your vision over boxing. He's made quite a bit of money, I'm sure, over these last two fights, where he should be able to live comfortably. And Errol Spence Jr., at this point, after this knockout and winning the IBF welterweight title, the sky's the limit. He's calling out Keith Thurman. He's ready to give people smoke, and I want to see him give him the smoke, to be honest. I think Keith Thurman versus Errol Spence Jr. would be a huge fight. I actually would plan on going to that fight if that fight happens. I really would plan on going to that fight. That's going to be a great fight, and it should be pay-per-view, in my opinion. Those are two stars. Those are the one upcoming star and a star in the welterweight division to try to unify the welterweight. That is a great fight. I hope that happens. Errol Spence Jr. versus Keith Thurman. And shout out to Showtime for putting out another great card. Showtime's not playing no games. Boxing isn't playing games this year. We just had Klitschko, Joshua. I mean, there's been a lot of good boxing this year. We had Thurman versus what's my boy's name? Damn, it's Garcia versus Garcia. So, yeah, boxing is definitely doing their thing right now in 2017. I hope it continues. And then we got to look forward to Triple G versus Canelo. So that's going to be dope as well. So this was a great fight. I hope everybody enjoyed it. Let me know what you think in the comment section. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that like. Share my videos. Let me know what you think. Once again, this was my recap of Kell Brook versus Errol Spence Jr. for the 147-pound IBF welterweight title. Gone.